Hey folks, so today I wanted to talk a little bit about airgun slugs. And this really all came for me because I recently bought some of the Edgun West exploding pellets in 22 cal. And they're pretty expensive. $50 shipped um, for two cal, and you get 77. So they're pretty expensive. And I haven't had a chance to get out and shoot them yet because it's been raining like crazy in Seattle. But I thought, I tried making some exploding pellets myself earlier. I have some videos on it. And they were mildly successful. I used them in broad daylight, and you could see a flash and some smoke. The report wasn't very loud, but the main problem is if you want to get a big volume, you have to put the powder or whatever compound you're using to make your pellets explode, you have to put it into the skirt and then shoot it backwards. And you do get a big volume that way. And it makes a better snap, but I kind of didn't like that. So I decided to buy some FX hybrid slugs because they have a huge hollow point on them. Uh, Looking over at them right now. And so I wanted to quickly show you FX hollow points, talk to you about how much they cost, and then compare them to a budget slug like the Apollo. So I'm going to flip the camera around real quick. So what you're looking at here is the FX hybrid slug, and the illustration is true to form. So it means that the slugs are just like the illustration. So it's got a huge, not large, it's got a huge hollow point cavity. So I think I can get a lot of powder in there. Anyway, that's what I bought them for. But also, I wanted to say, obviously, if you're actually taking game, um, these things are going to expand better than anything else on the market. And so here's a quick comparison. This is the tried to look through the camera and be dexterous at the same time. So this is the Apollo slug. This is a 33 grain slug, as you can see, and it's got a decent hollow point. It goes down about, let's see, about that far. So not quite halfway, maybe a third. But then you look at this one. See if I can get to focus on something besides my fingers. It's got a huge hollow point cavity. These are both 25 cal. The FX is more like 26 grains. So kind of the standard for 25 cal, the standard lower end. But I don't know. Can you see how much deeper it is? Basically twice as deep. And the reason that I think it's so much more shiny is this probably doesn't have too much other metal in it. It's, a good compound of lead, so it's really soft. So anyway, at some point, I'm going to go and take powder from a match head. I already scraped a bunch of them. And then the paper you see is they're the striker. And so what I've seen other people do when they're making these pellets is they'll take the strikers and they scrape all the red phosphorus off. And they have just a tiniest bit of powder. But what I usually do is I'll trim that paper as thin as possible, shave all the paper off the back of the striker, and then I'll insert it down in the very bottom of the pellet. And then the compression of the powder pushing against that striker pad. And sometimes I've actually even chopped up the little striker pad into tiny little triangles and mixed them with the powder. That's pretty tedious though. So anyway, I just wanted to mostly show you that these FX hybrid slugs are something special. You probably looked at them online. So how much? 26 bucks. It was 26 bucks shipped. And where these are more like maybe $22. sometimes less than that. Sometimes you can get them for real cheap. Anyway, and then there's 200 of them too. So there's nothing wrong with the Apollo slugs, but honestly, I prefer to shoot pellets. It's just these have the biggest hollow point of anything on the market. And of course, I bought 25 cal so I could stuff a bunch of powder in there. So that's all I wanted to say. Hope you guys are having a great day. Take care.